What's good, people? It's Joshua from Joshua Chubb Photography, back again with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a first impressions of the Fujifilm X-T5. Now, this honestly is the camera that I was waiting for last year when I was still primarily shooting Fuji. But since then, if you guys have been watching the channel, I have switched over to Sony, to the dark side, for my pro work. But I shot professionally with Fujifilm prior to that for 4 years. Nothing wrong, with still shooting it professionally. It was just, I was looking for something different at the time and decided to switch over. But anyway, I got the X-T5 in hand, and honestly this isn't a video that I planned on making because I didn't plan on picking up an X-T5, and this video is not sponsored by anyone or anything like that, but I do have this in hand for a little while, so I'm just going to test the living daylights out of it. So in the comments, let me know, is there anything that you guys want to see? Anything you guys want to know as far as it goes with this camera. Probably won't make a full review on it, so I'm probably not going to have it that long, to be honest. And like I said, it's not a camera that I'm going to keep for myself to have it that long of a term. But I am going to let you guys know my first impressions. I've already done a couple of shoots with it, so I do have some early thoughts on it. And also, I am going to be putting the X-T5 head to head with the Sony A7 IV. No, it's not a video that anybody asked for, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it to y'all anyway. So I got the 23mm on here, which is a 35mm equivalent. I'm going to be comparing that to the Sony A7 IV with the Tamron 35 to 150 at 35mm. 35mm is at an f2. This 23mm is at f2. So we gonna get it popping. 40 megapixels versus 33 megapixels. Anyway, enough about the Sony. So what were my first thoughts with this camera? When I first picked it up, I thought it was a little bit heavier than what it looks like, because the body is smaller than the X-T4, which I never had an X-T4. So I had the X-T2 was like my first body, technically the X-T20, but the first body I really used was the X-T2. I waited until the X-T4 was announced before I got the X-T3. And from what I remember, I think the grip does feel a little bit better on the 5 compared to the 3, because a lot of people don't really even consider the 4 to be the upgrade. So the 5 is considered the true successor, if you will, quote unquote. You got the 3-way tilt screen is back. So nice having that. But yeah, so the body a little bit heavier than what it looks like. It is a little chunkster, a little beefster with that. Let's see, the on-off switch, I'm not sure. On the X-T3, I feel like it maybe wasn't as recessed as it is on X-T5. It just took me a little, I don't know if I'll probably be able to get this close. It just took a little minute for me to find it, because there's a ridge here and basically it's a recessed a little bit. So there's that. You do also get the still movie mode dial, that's going to be on the back here instead of your photometry settings, which I never really mess with photometry. I just leave it on the default. So having a switch here is okay. Now I've seen a few other videos where people say they have, went to turn the shutter speed dial and have knocked, it from still to movie or vice versa. I too have run into that where, you're on the fly and you accidentally, just move it. So maybe wish it was implemented a little bit better. Maybe if it had, like, so for example, on the Sony, the switch is pretty much in the same spot, but on the Sony, there's a button on the front that you actually have to press in before you can switch it from movie mode to still mode or S&Q mode. So that maybe would have been a nice touch. That way you're not accidentally doing it. Let's see, what else? Shutter speed dial, yeah, over here. ISO, interesting enough, haven't really bumped the drive selector mode when changing the ISO, which seems a little bit strange, which I pretty much just shoot in single, maybe continuous low, but I haven't bumped it, so that's there too. What else? On the back, buttons feel really good. Still get the same little knobby joystick. It's okay. It's not the best. On the XH2, I forget the layout of it. I think they may have moved it higher, but I could be mistaken there. So anyway, but the buttons feel good. Definitely like, they feel squishy. You do get the dials, the pressable dials, front dial and rear dial. I know XH2 owners were complaining about that. One thing that I guess I understand it, but at the same time, I don't understand why Fuji took away the battery grip. There's many professionals who would prefer an X-T5 over an XH2. And then you take away the battery grip. Like, it's an accessory that people would have purchased. I just don't get the decision to not give it to us altogether. Literally makes no sense. Even though you do get a bigger battery, a better battery, a longer lasting battery, once you have the grip on, if you're shooting an event all day, the added ergonomics of shooting in vertical mode for your pictures, instead of holding the camera like this or however you hold it when you're shooting vertical, it just doesn't really sit right with me that they did not add that. Personally, I wouldn't want to. If I was really set on the X-T5, I wouldn't want to buy an XH2 just to be able to get a battery grip. With that being said, do have the hand grip for this, the metal hand grip that they make, and don't have it on here right now, but it's pretty comfortable. I remember having the metal hand grip on the X-T3 and I didn't really like it, but it feels good on the X-T5, and maybe because the X-T5 still has a deeper grip than the X-T3. Let's see, what else? Was shooting some photos with it the other day, just kind of was walking around the city, and I was trying to shoot a building. It was an intersection, and there was a building across the street that I was trying to shoot, and I'm in single point autofocus, focusing on the building I'm trying to focus on the building, and for some reason there's a box that pops up and it's trying to focus on the traffic light as if maybe it thought it was a face or some kind of object. I know it has, the different modes for object detection, trains, cars, and planes and all this, but it was focusing, and I kept, clicking the shutter, trying to get it to reframe, and it only wanted to focus on the traffic light. And the box was not over the traffic light. It was a building that was maybe 50 feet behind it. So, yeah, a little bit concerning because, with the X-T3, face detect would just find random objects and put the face box on. But I mean, overall, from the other videos that I've seen, you know, the autofocus is better. But I mean, that's something I noticed, and that was on my first shoot, you know, my first walk around with this. So there's that. But yeah, so anyway, let me know if there's, you know, anything you guys want to see about the camera, any questions, you know, just let me know in the comments. But I might even compare the XS10 to the X-T5, and this is my EDC camera. This is all me. For those of you who don't know, the last time I had the XS10, it fell over on a monopod and broke. Oh no! I was in shambles. But anyway, that's for another day. So yeah, holla at me in the comments. Let me know what you guys might want to see with the X-T5. Anyway, I'll see y'all later. Peace.